Welcome back, everyone, to the Arena Watch podcast. I'm Pack Demon. Today we got Celery. Trop decided to ghost us, and we got his permanent replacement, is Starscream. So
There, in the words of a famous movie, there can only be one. So
exactly,
only one number.
exactly. I'm glad we're on page with that one though. So this is just how it's going to be from now on. Yep. But yeah, we still have Trop's presence in the corner over there. Uh, Clearly, he's been outmatched this week. Starscream is just a tad bit ahead of him. Just one match, really, right? Just one match. Would you say that's fair? Celery, is that fair to say? Just one match ahead.
Yeah, yeah, one match ahead. Uh, Specifically, is it the third to last day or the second to last day?
Something like that. I can't be
Something
too
like
sure. Yeah, it's
that.
it's all right though. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone does it one way or another. You know, that's
Yeah.
just how it is. All right, let me pull up the YouTube chat here so people can actually, if they do talk, if they decide to talk, it's right there for them. All right, there we go. Now I have the chat open. If you all have anything to say, I'm gonna try to throw some of the adverts out here. Uh, how'd y'all do this week? Let's start there.
Yeah. I did fairly well. I think I probably ended up about the same. I don't remember my exact placement last waitlist week, but I was perfect through 4 days. And day 5, I had a Zoma Stun Dragon Lord True Form, which resulted in a loss of 12 points.
Connected here, but okay, we're reconnected. Good. I don't know why OBS was telling me
And
this now. All right, we're good.
yeah, so that knocked me out of the running for first place. And then I had another perfect day day 6. And then day 7, I had 2 perfect matches. Went into the last match against an awakened Stark, and promptly got my halberd one shot with a crit for like 1,374 damage or something. So I actually felt a bit relieved that the Zoma stun was what killed my week, because it would have been just gut wrenching to lose it on the very last match. And that was still a 2-turn. I was even with the losing halberd turn 1, it was still a 2-turn match. So
All right. Well, Starscream, how'd you do?
Yeah, just checking now. Looks like 4 of us finished up. Had a perfect week. So my very first one. So that was pretty sweet.
Where have you been this whole time? I mean, like, you just came out of nowhere and just started doing really good on Arena, no? Or did you change your name? Like, were you always in the top? Because I don't remember.
I think this is like my 10th gold thingy, and I have like 9 silver ones. So I'm usually hovering top 50, but it's only the last few weeks that I've been getting into the top 10.
What do you think is the difference that happened that caused that to be?
I think getting Halberd upgraded to like full awakened helped.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple extra awakenings on my Dragon Lord True Form when I was trying to chase an awakened Sorrow from those half Annie banners.
So do you mean to say that the Halberd Saurus is better than getting the armor?
I have both, so
You have
I got
both, but which one made the bigger impact on your arena score?
Claude made the biggest difference in my arena score, to be honest.
Who?
Claude.
Claude.
Claude. Claude. Well, up until you got Claude, I mean, you were still scoring pretty well, no?
Top 50, yeah.
Yeah. And was the armor a bigger influence or Halberd, do you think, for that? Like if you had to decide again, like which one to get first, which one would you get first?
I would still get the armor first, just because like
Hmm.
it helped a lot with the single player content, and
Oh yeah, the
I
PB.
don't just do arena. Yeah.
Gotcha. So the but you would agree that Halberd is just for arena is he should be picked up way before the armor, right? Just
Yeah,
if you're
I
an
mean,
arena main.
he's pretty much a must bring to every single week, so
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
That's how I feel about
Oh,
him too. All right, let's
yeah.
there's very few times in which I don't bring him, and I wouldn't even be able to say when that is. It just 99% of the time I'm bringing him. It just because his breath is so much more powerful than every other breath, and I don't have Dragon Lord True Form. And even if I did, Halberd's still better. It's weird. He's still better. I've noticed that. So, uh, almost done with the adverts here. That's what I was trying to sneakily do while everyone else was talking. Uh, but we do have Nocturne in the chat. Hello, Nocturne. He said he did 20, 21, 20, 128. What? The other battle, everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. Wow. Wait, how do you do a 21? That's an odd number. That's confusing. Oh, I think he means. No, I don't know what he means. He literally read the chat. He wrote 20-21 space 128. 21 battles total. So you did 21 battles and they were all 120s. And then he had a single 128 is what he was trying to say. Okay. Got it. But yeah, so it was a tough week for a lot of people. Let's just say that. How'd you manage to snag that first place position there, uh, with a perfect score, no less? How'd you do that, Starscream? Hello? Am I connected? Can anybody hear me? I think the call went out. 1 second here. I don't know what happened. The call went out there, and I didn't notice when it went out, but it did. Can I hear you now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I can hear you.
What just happened there? Well, that threw me off. Uh, but yeah, so how long was I gone?
Uh, how much did you hear from when Trop jumped in?
Oh, I didn't hear any of when Trop jumped in.
Okay, so you've been gone for probably like 3 minutes, give or take.
What?
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Okay.
They were kind of discussing, they just, doing a brief introduction and discussing how they have similar arena styles, and then talking about the benefits of having those six range units, like the breath users and Claude.
Mm-hmm. I was going off about Halberd after Starscream said he was great for arena. I just went off on that.
Yeah, we heard like one line, but you must have cut off like right at the end of your sentence because it didn't sound like you got cut off.
Yeah.
So like one of your natural pauses, it just cut out and you were still going, but we couldn't hear you.
Fair enough. Well, I was talking about how Halberd's better than Dragon Lord True Form, and for me, I bring him 99% of the time. I'm just not gonna lie, I bring him all the time.
I have brought him 100% of my matches. I think since I got him, or at the very least, since I got him to max level.
hmm
Uh, and I've, except for, of course, A rank and below week. But I've, I now, my perspective is different from most everyone else's because I don't have any alternatives. Like I could be facing 5 things with resistance to Sizz, and I would probably still bring Dragon Halberd. Like there's there's not a whole lot of options in my box, but he is just ridiculously good. He's fast. He hits a wide area. He's got insane defensive stats, really great HP, really great defense. So, like, even though he's charging up there, usually one of the first 3 to move in a match, he just about never dies, with the exception of, in a start crit. And so he's ridiculously good, especially considering his ease of access.
He is. He has everything. He has tank. I mean, his physical's decent when it's there and it lines up, but it's like the breath is just so much better. But he has everything. I mean, he could do physical. He can, especially this week with the physical coming up. He could totally be physical dominant this week for turn 2 versus how he's just going to be breathing turn 1 and turn 2 most weeks. He's probably going to do a lot of rolling attacks this week.
Yep. I mean, even when it's not a physical empowered week, I end up using the rolling attack occasionally when the squares don't line up. So like if I breath, I can hit 2 units, but if I rolling attack, I can hit 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll do that a reasonable amount. I'd say probably 80% of the time I'm breathing both turns, but 1 out of every 5 matches I still am getting to use that other part of his kit, and it's nice. Like having that much AOE on one character gives him a lot of options.
Yeah, it's different types of AoE, right? It's like the circle and then the breath is just in front. It's pretty nice having the versatility. Like I said,
Yep.
this week it's going to be even crazier, but any week it's great to have. He's honestly for me he was a must-have when I realized what his kit was like because I held off on getting him for a while. I was like, I don't know which one to get. I'm kind of like that. I was sitting back on like 2,000 something coins. I can't remember. No, 2,000, 4,000 coins, and I didn't buy anything. I was just holding out for as long as I could, and then I just went for it. I just went for him because I was just like, no, that's the AOE is so good. When I saw how much damage Dragon Lord Trueform did with his AOE on Trop's team, I'm like, oh, I need Halberd. I need him.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that's what kind of got me started. Otherwise, I was like, I was having a hard time even entering top 50, but I was definitely top 100 always. But without him, I just didn't have that kit, which I needed.
no, that was
Also, I'll be right
that
back.
was all right. So yeah, I do remember when Arena first came out and people were first able to access Halberd. I was not seeing him in Arena at all, and I started using him, and it was just, it was a fun little, as Trop will say with Umbra, is your own little creating the meta moment where you're a little bit ahead of the curve on realizing the power level of something that other people are really underestimating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think as soon as I got him to like 1 awakened, he was instantly one of my best asses from that point on. So, and still is. Like the only fully awakened S unit I have is Hal Gladiator, and besides Halberd, and I'm obviously not bringing Hal Gladiator to Arena. So
Why not? He's such a great unit. He has
he does show
very
up a lot of times on other teams.
He's great physical. He multi-hit, you know. He could poison. Poison does a lot of damage.
His S6 stats aren't terrible, but I don't have him at S6.
Okay. Well, I think most two-move physical units that don't have any ranged abilities are pretty much unusable arena-wise. Uh, it's hard to justify because you can't even get into the 128 range with that. So you need to have just covering ground there to do a two-turn, and you can't do that with most two moves. Also, looks like we got Parafusion in. Welcome, Parafusion. How's it going? Nocturne uses both Dragon Swing. He uses the Breath and Dragon Swing, so strong for turn 2 cleanup. Interesting. Do you guys find that you're using Dragon Swing turn 2 with Dragon Lord True Form, or would you? I think
Oh,
Trop's the only
absolutely.
one that. Oh, do you have him as well?
Yeah, yeah. He's on my tied for second highest awakenings with 2, and you. I rarely breath second turn. I said I breath probably 80% of the second turns with Halberd. I dragon swing 80% of my second turns,
Hmm.
at least. Like it might even be more because he doesn't have any of those boosts like Halberd does. So for anyone who may not know, I run Great Dragon as my leader. So Halberd is getting 35%, or what's that, 30%? 32%. 32% to his breath compared to Dragon Lord True Form getting nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of his boosts go to his Dragon Swing. So the fire is excellent for turn 1 because you a lot of times you're not going to reach. But I've even found a lot with this past map. I've been able to run up against speed groups where a lot of times I'm dragon swinging turn 1 because I'm hitting things that have run up that were faster than Dragon Lord True Form. So yeah, he's absolutely his dragon swing right now at least. I don't know about post bloom, but right now at least his dragon swing is his main attack. The fire is just an excellent bonus and option to have available.
I figured it seemed that way, just from what I've seen from him, and just seeing the raw damage on paper as well. It's tremendous. The awakenings all going to the swing, and his attack being what it is, it being an A rank ability, AOE. A lot different than having Halberd with his rolling attack, who's just an imitation of it in a sense. But in one sense, Dragon Lord Trueform's breath is an imitation of Halberd's because Halberd's is clearly superior when you get the awakenings. I mean, I felt it. That's why I went so hard on Halberd to get all 5 awakenings. The extra bit of breath damage allowed me, at least in the beginning, right? Because a lot of people have their White Kings max leveled now, and have at least 1 awakening or something like that. So he tends to survive 1 breath, but as long as you have another unit backing him up, he'll still clean up. But for a long time, my Halberd was one-shotting White Kings, which was really useful early on, and even now it's like with some supplemental damage, he still does, he kills them in 1 turn.
Mine will one shot anything up to 4 awakenings.
Could I make a quick note?
Go ahead.
I got like a second here. Just talking on the Dragon Lord True Form. I might be in the minority here, but I probably use fire like 95% of the time. I barely use Dragon Swing.
Do you buff up fire at all?
With the dagger, I wasn't able to get the best roll on the dagger, but I got 10% brilliance, which only helps against certain units. But I still most of my battles line up so that because my Halberd's faster than the Dragon. So if I need a range attack, Halberd is the one that I usually do. And then I usually use Tree Form for the Phoenix.
Hmm.
So yeah, just wanted to add that quick note. I guess everyone's different, but this is why I question when people put stuff like flails on their Dragon Lord True Forms, because I'm like, at least for me, I'm using that fire at least 90-95% of the time. Like I said, it's different playstyles.
Well, at least from Celery's perspective, his breath from Halberd's so strong that, I mean, just his breath from Dragon Lord True Form probably feels weak. So he's probably running in there giving like all the damage he can to his physical. What do you build on him, Celery?
I put flail on him.
You put
Flail,
flail.
and this past week, I usually put armor, but this past week running Deborah, I gave Deborah the armor, and he actually ended up with the agility cloak.
Interesting. So what does the it just helps him land the hit better because he misses, or what's going on there with the agility cloak?
Helps him outspeed other Dragon Lord True Forms. That's honestly the biggest difference it makes. Gives him a little bit of paralyzed resistance for when you're facing a Sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get slightly higher hit chance from that extra agility, but outspeeding other Dragon Lord True Forms can often lead to killing the enemy Dragon Lord True Form with double breath before it gets to move.
Yeah, because
depending on the
when you're
awakening.
outspeeded, you get boxed in. I've noticed that you get boxed in, and then you can't do your move set, or you do it to whoever's in the front line because they moved up. Okay, so they moved up, so you move up to them, you hit them, but now you can't hit their back line anymore because you've taken a farther back position. Especially
Which
with S
is
Stark, that's like a death sentence for S Stark. Is if someone boxes him out of moving up because his breath isn't his main damage. So if he can't go in range for physical, he's not really useful. I've found there's been matches that I've had with S Stark that I've used nothing but his breath just because he couldn't reach, which is surprising for a 3-move unit, and he can't reach, which is so.
which leads nicely into the upcoming week.
Being physical.
This
Exactly. Yeah.
physical and nowhere to run.
Yeah, look at this. I don't know if this map shows it very well, but there's blocks behind all these units there. So those tiles can't be they can't be moved to anymore. You can't move your units to those tiles, which is interesting. So there's no escape. It feels like a breath map, even though it's physical week. It feels like a breath map. Maybe you could do a hybrid. First turn is breath, second turn it's all physical. But it's they have nowhere to run really. I mean, 3 units could escape your initial breath, but turn 2 everyone's gonna get hit. Everyone's gonna get hit. No one's going to run away, and they're all gonna be grouped together for nice AOE, I believe.
I avoid Seraphy anyways, but this is the week to avoid Seraphy because someone's gonna put them in the back there. It's gonna be super annoying.
Yeah. This current week that we were on too, there was a lot of tiles in the back that you could put units on. So this is no different, other than they can't run. So turn 2 is a bit safer now. Of course, for you it probably didn't matter because your Claude could chase anyone down. I usually reserve that for Bone Baron, but obviously I didn't bring Bone Baron last week. It wouldn't have made too much sense to. I mean, you could arguably have done it anyway, but I just didn't. Like, those are the only units out of the A unit category that I would have still brought to waitlist week. Potentially, it would have been Bone Baron, and he's very dead last. Then it would be Slawn, and if I had him, Claude. Because having a waitlist week, it's almost a waste bringing an A unit, but one that has 4 move and that much damage, it's worth it. I think it's worth it.
That's about playstyle, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I felt handicapped because I'm bringing like 30 weight less than basically everyone else, but it just fits the way I was attacking teams with
Hmm.
chipping them down with Claude and then finishing them off with breath.
Meanwhile, some of the rest of us had everything in the front all good and dandy and super powerful and really overkill for the frontline hits, but we had no one to run down the units in the back, and we ended up with like 124s sometimes when we could have had 128s if we just had run a bit weaker units and ran a Claude or something. Less weight, but can actually chase down an opponent, which surprisingly this week probably won't be that necessary. Although Claude's still going to be great, he's still going to be amazing this week, just by nature of it being a physical week and everyone's so grouped together.
Well, you're talking about Stark, and like really for my team this week, all he did was really provide that leadership perk for the most part. Like
Oh,
breath didn't
so
do
mad.
too much damage, and I almost never got a physical
Hmm.
attack off with him. So he's pretty much there just for the leadership perk.
Yeah, you know what it was? It's just too crowded. It was too crowded. There was nowhere to move in because like all your breath users already moved in, and he just never gets a hit off. At least that's what I've found. I've never like if you check back at my arena streams, most of them I wasn't able to hit. Like only 20% of the time was I able to hit with S Dark, and it could have been superficial like half of that time. Like I would have won anyway. Like I don't know. It's almost like he wasn't the crucial element on my team this past week. So it's interesting for sure.
He's also somewhat slow. Like on my team, he would have got the last hit
Hmm.
every time. So
Hmm.
after 2 turn, like he's got to be the finisher if it gets that far. So fortunately, it didn't come down to that most of the time.
Yeah. I
I haven't looked at your team. What awakening is your Claude? And then do you use Sword of Ruin on him, or what's your strategy with him?
This week, I used Sword of Ruin a lot just because there were a lot of Deb users, and you can't afford to get him out acting like first or second. So yeah, I used Sword of Ruin a lot this week, and then he's max awakened.
All right.
All right. Let me get something situated here. I was gonna show later. All right, there we go. Well, I was running Zoma, S Stark, Halberd, Sorrow, and Bianca because I didn't I don't have Dragon like if I had Dragon Lord True Form I would have benched Bianca probably or benched I don't know maybe Zoma, one or the other, because they weren't too handy this week, either of them. I mean, did you have any luck, Celery, with the Sword of Ruin build?
I did excellent with Sword of Ruin Zoma. There were I definitely swapped back and forth based on the enemy because towards the end of the week, I started facing a lot of fast teams with high awakenings and such, and Zoma didn't need to be slowed down.
Okay, we're connected. We're good. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I really liked using Sword of Rune Zoma on the matches where I was facing weaker teams, usually, or very slow teams, but usually those end up being weaker.
And for the higher
And
CP teams, they're probably already in the wings anyway. Not the wings, but like the front tile positions, the ones on the sides.
yeah, and again, my team is relatively weak. I've got very low awakenings, so when I go up against teams with higher awakenings, they usually outspeed me. And so the faster teams, I would go back to the standard Dark Crystal staff, and I would put Sword of Rune on Deborah.
Deborah, interesting.
She is. I only have her at 1 awakening, but she is just too fast. She doesn't have any particular range. She has, same. She has her 1-2 range attack, but other than that, effectively very similar to Killing Machine.
Wouldn't she
And
miss if you do that though? Like, yeah, sure, but
she's
she's
she's so
usable, but
fast.
she's so
She's so
fast.
fast. Yeah, she's. I think she's like 330. I think she's 350 base speed at 1 awakening.
Hmm.
I'll have to double check, but she's really fast, and she doesn't miss it. I mean, think about, well, not for you, I guess, but think about for those who have him, Dragon Lord True Form. Dragon Lord True Form at 2 awakening is at like 250 agility, give or take. He doesn't miss that often. Like, so
But does it
when
ever
you're,
ruin a match for you when you do miss?
it hasn't yet. I know someone. I think Parafusion had a miss this week that ruined his shot at number 1. He would have been perfect without that miss.
Hmm.
So that is a risk, but also you can always think of it as Deborah is not going to hit anyone turn 1 if she outspeeds. Like,
All right, and to answer
the
Parafusion's question, yeah, I taught my Halberd Thunderstorm.
I did as well.
Hmm.
And it comes in handy for killing Zoma and occasional like archdemon weird stuff. But mainly Zoma.
Mhm.
Because
I
a
still
lot of
opt to
times
use
Or
the
it
any
direct
breath.
most of the time.
crazy enough to reach Zapple to Dragon Lord True Form. That's the true craziness we need around here.
Yeah,
So
we do have Trop over there preaching the Zapple. It really came in handy Zap week and never again. But
Did you
the
finish number 1 on Zap League?
yeah. That was your week. Okay, we got it.
Yeah,
What about this week, Trop?
and
How'd
it
you
was
do
all
this week?
thanks to my Zapple and my Dragon Lord True Form, right?
How'd you do
So I was
this
playing
week,
by the
Trop?
rules. I was
How'd you,
playing by the
how'd you do this week,
uh,
Trop?
you know, in my culture, we call that sparing an opponent from a
Oh, you
gruesome death.
spared
You
an
know, so I
opponent.
could have,
Yeah.
I, I, I could have finished 21 matches, but you know, I felt really bad for the 17 KCP team I saw, so I figured, you know, yeah, 20 matches is good enough. 20 matches is good enough for the week.
Who did you
So
finish at it?
my Zapple doesn't save me from bad decision making outside of the game.
Hmm. Um, how did all of your other matches go aside from that one 17 KCP team that you spared?
So up to that point, I had lost 8 points, 4 points to a Kiro team, which you know was my mistake because I could have re-rolled that team. That was the first team of the day, and then what did I lose the other 4 points to? I can't even. I lost I can't remember if it was another guy that ran down, but
Units were moving to the left.
oh yeah, that's strange. That's strange AI, and I uploaded the video for everyone to see. Like I thought I was being so smart, you know, putting everything in the back, and then we waiting for Zoma to come so I could Dragon swing him with Dragon. I'm like, oh yeah, and then I saw the units moving towards Dragon with True and I'm like, oh no, what the fuck did I do?
Mhm.
So that was pretty funny, but that's a AI thing I didn't know would happen, but it's one thing you can easily learn from and probably not make the same mistake again. So that's good. And yeah, learn from me. Don't fight Carol teams because they'll just keep running. I swear, dude, if that Carol could have kept running, he would have ran all the way up the stairs. He was so close already.
Would you advise people to take Kirill this week, though? It's a potential, right? Like, it gives you more options because now you don't have to avoid Kirill. So you could still go around avoiding S-Dark and Sorrows or whatever you need to avoid. But now there's this one less team to avoid.
Yeah, I mean,
And
yeah,
it
for
gives you more
sure. If
options
you
now.
see a team with Emperor Slam or Kiro,
Oh, Emperor Slime, I'd
yeah,
take
if
it.
you see a team with Emperor Slam or Kiro, you can still,
My
you
my
could
S
probably do it
start
this
my
week and
breaths
do
would
well.
kill the Emperor Slime, and then I'd finish him turn 2 if he was in the back. Either or, like honestly, Emperor Slime's is gonna be fun to go against
Exactly.
this week.
Yeah, the units I'd maybe still avoid is Armored Scorpion if it's fully awakened. Like,
Oh,
it's probably
any
easier to kill, but I don't know just how easy.
yeah, and any sort of turtling unit because that's shouldering damage for everybody. Of course, if you're moving first, then probably not. But your breaths aren't going to kill him in time for turn 2, so it's going to be an angry turn 2, and then turn 3 you're just because there's going to be a turn 3. It's not. There's no if and or but about it. There's going to be a turn 3 there somehow. I mean, unless if you had Claude for the finish, but I guess.
But is their regular troop frames after they should all be finished. That's my wise words of advice. I got to go again. Be back in a bit.
All right, Trop. Thanks for showing up again. I was gonna ask him how what advice he would have gave me because he saw me get drive by a Zoma and other stuff this week. I had some unfortunate stuff happen. I was doing pretty well. I was getting 128s when I should have got 124s in some cases. But somehow it all caught up to me. I had matches where I just like lost a unit or lost 2 units, lost a turn. Stuff like that happened, especially the second to last day. I think I had a match where I lost 100 points. I had another match, like 2 other matches where I lost, no, not 100 points. I was at 100 points. Other matches where I was at 108, and I was like, ooh, that's the worst I've been in a long time. And then I get a 100. I was like, oh, that's even worse. So I was doing pretty well, and then I don't know what happened. But yeah.
I don't know if it would have made a difference, but on that one where you got 100, like I was surprised you picked a team with one awakened Stark.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Probably that was it. Probably I just didn't even notice he had the awakening. Were the other teams also have awakenings or no?
I think there was at least one other team. It was pretty tough, but it didn't have Stark, so
Oh, okay.
I probably would have went with that.
Oh, okay. So I just got to go for the higher CP and avoid a Stark. That's what I got to do.
I mean,
That's what I usually do, but
yeah. I actually rank a Stark, maybe not this week again with the weird map where nothing can run. But normally I rank like healers slash buffers as the thing to avoid the most.
mm-hmm.
And then Awakened to Stark very slightly less because it's a healer, but it only heals itself and only once. And then status effects are my third thing I try to avoid because just like this week, I always end up getting hit by at least one. So I always try to avoid them, but a lot of times you just have to roll the dice on that. I think it's a 25% chance for rarely. I thought it was 20, but apparently it's a little bit higher. So.
What about Sorrow? You never even mentioned Sorrow once. You have a perfect strat against him, apparently.
I like Sorrow. He's still on my avoid list at that tier 3 with because of his breath.
Almost done.
The spell reflect does. Oh. Hey, baby.
Spell Reflect doesn't affect a breath team like Celery's, who's muted right now, but.
So, but yeah, Sorrow. I use Zoma, but Zoma is there for the rest of the enemy team, and soon, once Dragonfest comes, I won't even be using him. So for Sorrow, the only thing I have to do is dodge that paralyze. So he's actually I face a lot of them because a lot of times that's the one of the best, one of the best meta units for my team to face. Great Dragon resists Paralyze and hits back with a Brilliant Breath. So it's a very good matchup overall.
So I did actually have my last match of the week recorded, and I didn't have the chance to stream it, but I did record it, and I was gonna show it to you guys right now if you wanted to tune into the stream, have it, and then maybe commentary over it. It's like, let me see, it's like a 13-minute video basically, and I'll have it at ×2 speed. So we'll get through this. So it's a short little segment here that I wanted to include here. Just one match, basically, if that's all right with you guys. One sec. Yeah, I'll set it up on my thing right now. All right, window display on. This should work. And I'll have the smart view up. Let's see. Let's see if this is coming through all right. Should be in just a sec. Let me see if it's working. That seems all right. That seems lined up decently. It's cutting out a bit of the right-hand side, but that's fine, yeah. All right, let's get this on. Let me see. Is it audible? Let me
Listen back, pass back here. And let's get these matches.
Is it audible? All right, take it away, pass
Crazy
pack.
lineup. Do. I've seen something like that before. Not just the anime, but also on. I don't know. I feel like I've seen him on this mode before. Got lots of crack and other things. Make sure our equipment is up to snuff here. This is what was screwing me. I don't know if I had my agility on.
Yeah, I probably missed the agility robe last
explains a lot of
for
problems that
my
I had.
other matches, which was probably throwing me off.
What would I give this guy instead? Some of that. It's not bad equipment by any metric. Lots of crack weakness. Then again,
What
okay.
role do you have on
Seems
your
good.
Sis Hammer?
Seems good. Anyone outspeed me?
HP.
Probably not.
Not the best,
They
but like
outspeed
some
me if I
HP.
gave myself something. No, I think this person's aggressive, other than Dragon Lord over there. I mean, Flora does scream like it's a not aggressive unit, so
Do you
I don't know.
prefer that over like
I don't know.
Liquid Metal
Let's head in and
Sword
see
or
what happens.
Dragon
Yeah.
Sword?
Well, there was one match that I can say that it
Don't wanna get
screwed me
swept.
because if I
That's another
had
thing. I don't want to get slapped.
the liquid metal sword, I would have had enough damage with the rolling attack to finish a few units that I wasn't able to finish.
Skeletor. Well, he doesn't have a lot of HP. I think we could handle him more or less. What else do we have? on
But
this
this is almost like
have
the
a lot of HP
ideal
on this.
teams
Yeah.
here.
This gal. Only way to one-shot her really is that. Sorrow can pull her. This guy resistant to anything. Zap. He's resistant to zap. That's a thing. Yeah, I don't know. Don't think that's a bad bet. I think that's pretty decent.
The auto is
the
still
breath.
on. Someone should warn him.
Could work on this side too. And then Zoma can just take care of White King instead. And I don't know, Bianca finish over here? Can she finish? Maybe. Maybe she can finish Dragon Lord over there. Don't know. Just needs to have how much HP knocked off of him? 155 or something? I don't know. Somewhere in that range. Uh-huh. Okay.
All right, he turned off auto. That's good.
All right, let's go for that.
Glacial's probably better for positioning, but it doesn't matter.
That should be good.
I got lucky with these matches. I didn't get
I think
lucky
I'll be
with
able to
the
do it.
rest of the week,
so
though.
close. Luckily, we won't need our S-Dark anymore. And she'll probably go for a heal instead. Predictable. Okay, good. Seems attacking with Bianca rather than oomphing is useful.
Pretty clean first
Alright, how much
match.
time we got? We still got a little time. Be able to do this. And Atlas. Great. I'm not in this recording, I meant for myself. Atlas. I'm not gonna. I've already done that on recordings and it's a nightmare. It's not. Atlas is never fun to record, trust me. Viewers don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. Ugh. Atlas is just the worst thing to come out of this entire event, really. Dare I? I think I do dare. They look powerful, but they're not, they're standard units, but they're underpowered is what I meant, in this case. Something like that. I don't know, don't quote me on anything.
I never fight Awakened Stars.
That's what you do.
I just burn through his breath, or I mean his heal with breath.
Well, I feel like Halberd can take most of that.
Sometimes Zoma can just one-shot him with his Psy Cannon.
Himself, really.
If he's like at like 600 HP
ideal.
or something.
Let's go for it.
So he won't be low enough that he could heal, but he's still low enough that Zoma could one-shot him. That tends to be a thing that happens a lot.
I'm building to be fast enough
Healed
to
up,
like
that's not a
go
problem for us.
first all the time on turn 1, so
problem.
he's
Unless
always
we make it
gets
a problem. We didn't
pretty
make it a problem, so it
damaging
won't be a
hit on
problem.
somebody turn 1.
I hate problems.
Well, this is only possible because these are like
that damage.
level
Someone's
90
gonna kill. Oh, someone
units.
can't kill Bianca?
Some of them.
Couldn't he have Glacial Doom? Oh, yeah, she's resistant. Well, that's a good thing. She never has enough HP, honestly. S-Stark is just the bane of her existence. Half resistance was enough? Oh, yeah, this is a weak Zoma. Okay, any other Zoma, this would not have been possible. Let me just say this really quick. This should not have happened. Don't do this. Don't do this, folks. Bianca over there was a liability. She survived by the grace of God. I don't think God cares about my arena matches. But, probably has other priorities. Anyways, let's not invoke higher powers here where we have no authority to, and get on with our next matches. This Zoma looks like, if I tried the same trick here, this Zoma would kill me doing that same dumbass move.
Because if you think about it, my Bianca was in Glacial Doom range. If that
And
Zoma
like
was
we're
like
gonna do the
in the
same dumbass move,
100s
so
instead of in
Here's
the
hoping. Here's hoping it goes well.
in the level 90s, he could have killed me.
Get Bianca here. She already has the flail. HP?
She resists crack though.
She does, but even
It's not a lot
with
more HP,
resistance,
but
like my Zoma's
Just
gonna
enough.
just
Maybe.
destroy
I have
someone.
no clue.
Uh,
In any case, we'll keep
still
him
gonna do
playing.
like
So we can do
400
some other
damage or something, 400 damage.
Not that we need a fast Sorrow. Some of these units look slow.
Not 4,
Some
maybe 300.
Dragon Lords do.
I don't know.
Anyhow. Alright, let's head in. This match is not going to go like the last one, I'll tell you that.
Oh, it's on 2x. You're
spoilers.
doing your
I'm
matches a
past
lot
packing it.
faster
I'm giving
these days.
present pack information.
Yeah, maybe I
So
could
now I
always
know.
do videos
Just know, right?
times
This is
2
not-
speed.
This is not the same match.
That'd be
before.
great.
I mean, it's kind of the same match as before.
But
Setup,
13,
just
I mean,
a little bit different
13
setup.
minutes for 3 matches
It's not much
isn't
different.
bad.
Okay. Well, at least we
Well,
get a
they
kill
were
zone
easy
here. So the fact
matches,
that we
so
get a kill
that probably
zone
factored
enables
into
us
it.
to, well, it's going to enable us to do a lot more, I think. So, I glacial him. S-Stark's breath maybe finishes him off. I don't know. I don't think so, because this Psy Cannon is... I should have brought my staff and not my dagger. But my Psy Cannon's not going to do that much damage, so... Tough call.
Who's your leader?
Bring
this
Halberd
week?
over to the other side and then
It was
try
always
to
S
stick it out
Stark.
that way. But we like taking risks on this channel. Dude, why can't heroes learn
I
ability?
guess Sorrow's the only one who really benefits from that most of the time.
Sorrow and S Stark. Yeah, S Stark doesn't benefit
Let's see.
from it. It was mostly
Yeah.
Sorrow.
He's a healthy boy.
There was one time that
That's just enough to make him
it
unhealthy.
helped Halberd
Unhealthy
for
and
his
die.
own rolling attack,
That's what we want.
and I oomphed
Okay, so this Zoma
Halberd
does die 'cause
for his
this Zoma
rolling
sucks, this Zoma. attack, As far as Zoma's
but
concerned,
it
this one's
still
shit.
wasn't enough.
We could go for the attempt at a stun.
I was
Or we
close
could kill
though.
him. We'll take the latter option. I don't know why, but we'll just do that one instead. I know it's controversial, but I'm
I'm
just gonna
like
go for
drop like I like
it. It really
breath
did a
a
number on
lot
my Sorrow
because
there.
I like the guaranteed damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
but this
probably the
week-
way to go on Arena is guarantees over taking risks. Just the bare minimum
and there we
to
go.
get
All
a
3 matches,
128.
128. That's all I needed to do this week. All right. Well, thanks for having
I
me.
did
Present
do
pack.
a lot of like rolling
Pass
attacks
back.
and dragon swings
Peace.
turn 2 this week, just because like if something survived turn 1, those were probably the units that were resisting Frizzances.
Yeah, that's basically what had happened to me. Is everything was lined up for doing better with rolling attack, and I just wasn't there for the damage. I was this close. I was this close for that one match, but that was the one time that not having Liquid Metal Sword cost me points in the whole time that I've been running my Sizz axe, basically. So I don't know. The Sizz axe is just HP and 2% to the breath, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it puts him, I don't know, in the 460 something range, 467 or something on brilliance, and that's not bad, I think.
I I'm pretty sure it's additive. So assuming it doesn't change by the leadership, it adds 10 damage.
Something like that. Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, it's exactly 10 damage. I have a 4% sword, and it takes me from 550 to 570.
Fair enough.
So,
I
and that
just
570 is very important because a fully awakened White King with no HP buffs has 568. Well, not a fully awakened, sorry, four awakened. Fully awakened gets out of range.
I just know that a full like a 6% breath bonus. I think 6% on any sword that for breath would give him something like 497 or 498 for brilliance without any leadership, which would be cool. But I don't have a weapon like that. The closest I have is 4% from my was it my silver rapier.
Yeah, I've got 4% from the broadsword, B rank broadsword.
Yeah, it's not a bad bet. I mean, the platinum sword has good rolls, but good luck trying to get them because you have to have materials for that alchemy stones, and it's not
I
easy.
I've got like 80 something, like 85 or 80 something HP, and like 6 or 10 agility. I've got a pretty good roll on my platinum sword. It brings him to 1175 HP.
Yeah, mine's has all 45 HP rolls silvers, so it's like it's almost a 200 HP sword. It's like 180s usually because it gives you what like 3% as well to health.
Yep.
So, but yeah, all right. But talking about we're done with past week. Let's say this week. How do you guys feel about this map? We've been staring at it. We've been talking about it. Everyone's had their little theories, but what do you feel about this map, and what do you feel are going to be the meta picks and the counter meta picks this week? What are you going to bring to top it all off as well?
I'm going to be bringing Great Dragon Leader, Halberd, Dragon Lord True Form. Oh, sorry. Actually, I'm not bringing Great Dragon Leader. I think this time because of the physical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually swapping it up for the first time in like 6 weeks, and I'm going to be bringing Deborah Leader. So I'm going to go Deborah Leader, probably with Sword of Ruin. Halberd, Dragon Lord True Form, Slon. And then I'll probably end up bringing Ghost. I think it was Nocturne was saying in chat, Ghost is a liability because anything in the front row can hit every single square.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to be careful with. He could very easily get one shot. So I may not bring a fifth. I may go 4 units this week. Potentially 4 units. Potentially maybe like Drooling Ghoul as an E tier that has paralyzed breath. I think he has paralyzed breath. Could theoretically come in handy for opposing Deborah's and other stuff that's weak to paralyze, like Zoma.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for some sort of mix. What are the different permutations you could do? You could do because it's 225, so it's a bit different than like our 220s would allow. What was it? Jeez, you could get. I want to say 65, 65, 65 in a E or something, and 65, 6. No, I can't remember. What are the permutations? There's some weird stuff going on with 220 weeks, and this is just 5 more than that, right?
So Three 65s would be 195, which puts you at 30 weight. So you could do a B and an F to get that extra 30 weight if you were running three of the 65 weights. You could run two 65 weights, and then you've got 95 to spare. So you could do a 50 weight, an A rank, and then an E or an F, which is what I was looking at. And then if you run only one 65 weight, then you could run three S's and an E or an F.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a complicated team, but let's see.
I mean, because we pick our opponents, as long as if you are bringing Ghost, then you can always.
Okay, we're reconnected.
So if you are running Ghost because you don't have any E ranks or Arena like most people, I assume, then you just avoid Hybrid, or if a match with Hybrid is by far the easiest match, you just swap, bench Ghost for a match.
Mm-hmm. And would you recommend me to remove Zoma from my team this week, or is he still usable, you think?
I'd say he's still usable if he's one of your 2 or 3 65 weights, depending on your team comp. I think it's going to be another map where you're going to really look at your speed matchup, because he's. I'll have to let me bring up the stream. Right. I can't remember if there's even a spot where he can hit anything turn one if he outspeeds.
Right now I'm looking at my team and I'm seeing S-Stark, Halberd, Slon, Ghost, and Sorrow. And I'm going to be giving the Sorrow's nails to Slon because he's going to be able to use Bang for both turns, whereas, Sorrow's going to use his grabby hand for turn 1, and then I know his Bang is way better, but he's going to Bang turn 2 maybe, depending on the positioning.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to give him a Pyramid Claws or something, because my Pyramid Claws had better agility rolls anyway than my Sorrow's Nails did.
Yep.
And then I'm probably going to give the Beastly Jacket or something to Slon instead of... because I usually give him the Agility Cloak, but if it's going to go to Sorrow, then I guess I'll have to give him the Beastly Jacket, which is just one of the Battle Road armors or whatever there is.
Yeah, there's a Beast Cloak that gives a good amount of agility.
Parafusion's saying he's going to fit Boreal in somewhere. I wouldn't recommend it. Boreal's pretty squishy. I think turn 2 is going to be a nightmare for a lot of people this week. Or after you do your action, the way the enemy team is going to respond is going to wreck house because of the physical bonus. So I'd be careful.
Yeah, Boreal's definitely really hampered by his speed. I think if you're facing a faster enemy, or you can get Boreal slowed down with Sword of Ruin, it's definitely possible. But he's definitely a huge liability. That getting into the next part of like what we're bringing is what we think of it is. It's a very open arena. It's very AoE friendly. That middle of the arena is just going to be a bloodbath. So it does not lend itself well to the Hellion and Boreal type units.
Hellion's not usable. Hellion hasn't been usable for a long time, but Hellion, especially this week, is not usable. He would die out there. Slon is just such a better pick. He hits both turns and he'll survive because he has a lot more HP, so he'll survive.
More HP, actually really high defense in case you haven't used him a lot. I used him in the Luminaries fight as part of a one healer strat. So he's very tanky, similar to Ragnar or Halberd. Has excellent defensive stats for surviving the counter push.
But yeah, so apparently Past Pack was a rap god according to Nocturne, and well, that's just how things go. You know, Past Pack is part of the Time Lord series of all the packs, and he's the rap god one out of the bunch. So Future Pack and Present Pack. Future Pack isn't with us right now, but Present Pack, you know, I can't say that I can rap as fast as Past Pack can. That's just unique to him. So that's when I, pack track through all the discords and whatnot. But there we go. I think a lot of us don't know what's going to happen this week, though. Just seeing this, we all had different theories. Like Trop was just like, "Oh, I'm still going to be breathing. Oh, it's going to be a terrible week." But then he's like, "Oh, wait, but it's going to be good. But it's going to be terrible because there's still those 3 tiles in the back." And it's like, well, there's 3 tiles in the back this week too, wasn't there? Kind of. So it's like, this is at least a little bit better. But
yeah, I think the map is going to be on the whole like really breath friendly. You just have to you just have to be really careful with those the whoever survives to hit. Those Estark's going to be even more dangerous than he usually is. I know Booski has trouble, and I'm sure a lot of people have trouble with remembering that his Underworld Slash goes off to the sides. So you have to be really careful where you line up your units, or he can just snipe someone from a couple squares over.
Yeah, that happened to me at my Bianca this week. That
yeah,
one match.
Exactly. It's hard to remember, like if you're not specifically looking for, okay, the Astart can go from this angle and he can hit this far, and it's AI. It's not gonna miss a kill if you give it one, and it hits if you're not resisting Zam, and especially like if you're weak to Zam, you're just dead. But if you're not resisting Zam, it's gonna do a chunk of damage.
So how are you guys gonna build against all this, or what are you gonna do when facing teams?
I'm gonna do what I've been doing the last few weeks. So probably odd with a Stark, Albert, and Dragon Lord True Form, and then there's no good E's, so probably just throw in Ghost for fun. And yeah, I'm gonna build fast so that I'm one breathing and hopefully killing 2-3 units before they even get to act on their first turn.
And do you think those tiles to the sides, because there's 5 tiles in the middle lane kind of, and there's 3 behind it, but there's also 2 in front if you see off to the sides there. Do you think those are usable this week?
You said you were thinking about if you're gonna bring Zoma, like if you put it on there, it can get a hit off turn 1.
Yeah, it could on maybe one of those side tiles, but he's 65 weight, so he's kind of expensive. I don't know, I'd have to get rid of Sorrow or Estark to fit him in, and not getting rid of Estark because of his leadership, and then Sorrow, I think, is just his grabby hand's probably stronger than Psy Cannon will be this week, even if I don't build attack and I build agility.
I think so. I think Zoma you would only use this week if you were going basically if you didn't have a Stark or Pissarro. I think he's a solid alternate, but I don't think he beats out either of them.
Yeah.
Sorrow's definitely better.
Also, Nocturne, I fought your arena team. I think it was not this past week, but the week before that. I forgot to tell you that. I fought your team. It was on principle. I did it for fun, and I lost points. or something. I don't remember when it was. Someone will have to fish through and find it. But I fought you for fun, basically, and I lost points. But I still beat you. So it wasn't ideal, but I still beat you. So there you go. You'll have to fish for it and look for it. I don't know when that was. Maybe I'll take a look. But yeah, seems like it's getting a bit past the end of the stream here. Anything you guys want to add really quick? Anything you want to note that is really important that we haven't touched on here? You could go ahead and do it now.
Oh, Insane in chat's just saying Nightclubber could be a sleeper this week. Nightclubber could be really good. I think the 2-move hurts him, though.
Yeah, I mean, he could take that. Maybe he could take the that corner position at the top.
Huh?
That corner position on the sides. He could at least hit one unit on turn 1, and then maybe do damage on. He's definitely an avoid unit this week. I don't know about a usable unit. I would definitely avoid him. Because if you get crit by Nightclubber this week, it's no bueno. But are you going to crit with Nightclubber this week? Probably not. I mean, you probably could. Would you do it every match? No. Hopefully. There we go. We're back. Okay, so, yeah. Nightclubber, are you going to crit with him when you use him? Maybe a few times, but is it going to be consistent? No. And you always want to go for consistency. You want to eliminate all your extremities, all the unnecessary ways in which you could lose and whatnot, lose points. So we want to get rid of that. Parafusion, AI Nightclubber only hatchet mans when he knows it will land. Scary. Yeah, he does. That's they need to fix that. They need to fix that. See, my AI when I'm fighting when I was fighting, what was it, slimes and whatnot, metal slimes, my AI was just always using Hatchet Man, even when it didn't land, even when it wasn't critting. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem fair. Your AI sucks, but the enemy AI is always good. Ever notice that?
Yep.
S-Stark on those side tiles would be good also. That's a fair point, because you could pick off at least... No, you couldn't. Could you? Well, you could pick off one unit with the physical if that's what he was going for. But I would still just breath and then physical, because it would line him up for a better hit. If your team's in a straight line, the enemy team's probably also going to form a straight line just to hit all of your teammates. So that's going to line them up pretty nicely for S-Dark. So I think
It's
just...
super annoying to face on the wing. The reason you don't want to put him on the wing, though, is you want everybody within that 5x5 box to get his leadership perk.
Yeah. That's a fair point. So I guess maybe Parafusion wasn't giving him leadership. Maybe he's gonna give Sorrow leadership and hope turn 2 he after nerfing everyone's bang he just blasts them into oblivion or something. I don't know. But anyways, guys, this has been Pack, and if you want to join the Pack with Pack, go ahead and subscribe down below. A lot of you have been noting that you would watch my live streams had you got notifications for them. So if that's you, hit the notification bell. If not, don't worry about it. I'll still throw the adverts in the Reddit and Discord. Oh, I forgot to do the Reddit today. But I'll still have the adverts in the Discord and as usual. If you like this video, if you like this stream, go ahead and like the stream. Go ahead and like it. Come on. If you have something to say, say something. Say something. For the love of God, say something. All right? I don't know why you're holding it in. And if you want people to see my stuff, go ahead and share my stuff. What are you doing? And If you want to catch all the best underground DQT conversations, go ahead and join Kage's Gaming Discord server. Links to that in the description down below. And if you want to get all the best DQT guides, go ahead and join my server. You have just a little bit of time before this event's up. I think how many days do we have left? 2 days until the event's
5 days?
5 days? 5 days. I haven't been
4
playing
days.
it.
4 days.
4 days. So get on it, folks. If you haven't finished it and you're stuck on principle, you're like, I want to clear all. Yeah, okay, sure. You want to clear the content your way, but at least pick up the items. It's going to help you out for like future events. Don't sleep on the Sword of Ruin or something. It might come in handy. You never know. Anyways, guys, this has been Pack Demon signing out. Peace.